Just a second. Okay. Let's paint, shall we? I just realized I don't think y'all can see how can I do this? Cause that angle's not gonna work. Hey, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Maybe I should do the floor tonight. If I'm gonna do the floor tonight, I need to move all these down here first. So I'll do that so that way I can reach all the stuff I want to reach. I know somebody's probably like, you should have thought that through. Look, probably should have. No worries. This is the other picture I did, by the way, for anybody who cares. I'm gonna use the same thing as my paper tonight. Okay, got all this down here. Now I just gotta find my paintbrush that I should have had already laid out before I plan on starting. Too much like right. And now, oh yeah, that's great actually. And that one, that's good too. So I'm gonna sit on the floor. I realized that being up here, you're not gonna be able to see anything that I'm doing. So I'm gonna just be down here. That way you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so see if I can paint like this, which is gonna be a challenge in itself. I watched a video earlier and the guy was talking about how he paints all the dark values first. Normally, I do not go that way. And he did not have it outlined first. No, I had to do a little bit of outlining because I know me. But we are gonna start with the darker outline. So we're gonna start with this. And yeah, this is one of those things that's slightly challenging, but not the first time I've ever done it this way. I just have to make sure that I'm not too heavy with the brown. And then he added shadows where he wanted weight, which under the eyes is naturally darker, which I realized she's probably gonna end up with a lighter tone anyway. And then blending out the top. So basically this is like similar to the whole Mona Lisa thing, which I don't know if I can actually replicate that this quickly, but we'll see. And then under here would have definitely had to been darker. And no, I'm not rushing the process right now. I'm just trying to, yeah, smooth this out. But I'm realizing the dimensions of this picture doesn't have the, some of the parts I naturally like in it. But it was a rough sketch. So anyway, I'm gonna add this outline here. And then I already know that we're gonna have canvas today. We're just gonna go dark on the hair. And no, I didn't like actually save the video either. I have the thing about it, but we're just gonna do this because if we're gonna experiment. This is playground time anyway, right? The only thing is I think he let his dry between the coats. And as thick as some of these lines are, I don't know if it's gonna dry, but I'm gonna have to try to balance that out in a way that can actually help it. But I already did the hardest part. I probably should have started with the darker part of the eyes, hindsight. But we'll see how that lands. Because I actually do like a nice dark eye for her. And then we can add lighter later. Okay. Hopefully I don't smudge that too bad, but we shall see with this little bitty baby canvas. Okay. I always feel like if I'm experimenting on something to this extreme. Did I bring the towel in here? No. I'm definitely not gonna waste a big canvas because I feel like that's exactly what that would have been, a waste. Or not. Okay, so now we're gonna go to the next value, which is this color. So I added gold to this color, so it's like not the original color, so you can see that it has a golden undertones. And none of these colors are the colors they actually were initially, because I didn't like that. So now we're gonna add, this is like the opposite of what I'm used to doing, sir. So then we add slight highlights there and there. And then we'll see how this goes. Because honestly, I'm realizing too, like, he probably had the same kind of paint across his whole thing. And this is definitely going to be interesting, to say the least. I will say this is if Trust the Process was a person. The only thing is there's not enough paint in me for me to do my normal technique, because normally I have a base coat already on my canvas and I let it dry first, and this is just straight canvas, so definitely interesting. And I need a different kind of brush. This is so much work. So much work. Okay, yeah, now we can get some of the extra off. I wonder why this is painting more like, I wonder if I might have put thin and medium in this paint, which Zoe told me not to, and now I see why. I did it because some of the paints were clumping and not blending properly. But I'm gonna tell her she was right. But I do like how now, you see how in this part I can kind of skip the step of blending because it's like already right. Okay, so only thing about this too is like there's no, but I do like knowing that with this kind of canvas, yeah, I missed some stuff. But this is actually kind of interesting how it's coming together already. I feel like I can't figure out, I'm missing something. Can't figure out what I missed, but I'm definitely gonna figure it out. But I know what it was. I just thought about it. So when he was doing it, he was letting it dry between every single coat. Technically, could I blow dry it and make it dry between every single coat? Yeah, I could. I really could. I probably should. But I also like not doing that just to see what happens. I don't know if this is actually a tutorial or just more so a moment of play. But either way, I do see how it's actually building up though. That's actually kind of cool. So right now, it's actually starting to absorb. So I can actually start adding some blending. Okay, so I don't have my water. I never have the water ready. I need to start doing that. Okay, so this is, what color is this? Put this on here so I can have the top. Okay, and now let this dry a little bit, which I don't think it's gonna dry quickly. So I'd rather just wait to just jump ahead. I feel like with a lot of these things that I keep watching, I have to remember they're time elapsed. And oh, will it blend? Let's ask. Well, not ask. Let's try. Yeah, so that one's a thicker color. Ooh. So why is that one thicker? That's actually a better tone. So with his, he actually just straight up skipped spots and then came back to him. But realizing that I kind of like this way though. I didn't take time to figure out the highlight point either. Probably should have did that. But I also like the idea of not knowing it and kind of going with the flow. Because usually I'm so like in this headspace of I have to have stuff to be right. Today, my goal is to just go with the flow. So I was like, if I'm just gonna do something, not shoot for perfection, what could I go with the flow with and not overreact? And why is it so hard to open? My thoughts on that was I could do a painting. Because if I do a painting, it will allow me to just do, right? So, make sure that doesn't spill. I gotta ask myself, how could I make myself do something that I don't quite understand the concept, which I do that a lot, but and try to execute it in a way that may be challenging, and even if so it doesn't turn out perfectly, I'm cool with it. So I was like, you can do that by mimicking a video that you watch once and challenging yourself to remember the ideology of it. The basic concept of what they were doing. And I realized I never learned values. Yes, I have an art book that could teach me values, but I have 2 of them actually. I'm sure I learned it in art class. I took 2 years of art class too, so I was just like, yeah. But I realized that the challenge comes when you're willing to experiment. So now I'm just mixing the brown and the tan at the same time because it needs to build. I'm learning that with this particular type of canvas, if I'm doing skin tones, I need to do the whole base first and let that dry, because honestly, this is not grabbing the color the way I thought it would. But I actually kind of like the way it's changing. It reminds me of the color, the painting I did with just the like all brown. But it was all the same shade and I watered it down. And I realized this type of canvas would actually be great for watercolor. Yeah, I have some watercolor. And if I decide to change this to mixed medium, that would work. But then I would have to use the blow dryer because this is... Ooh, okay. We're starting to find your tone, lady. Okay, so I might need to switch that to a smaller brush. Let's see if I can do that with a smaller brush. I do need to add more of the darker brown, which defeated the whole purpose of the whole undertone first. No worries. I did attempt to go that way, but then I realized I usually paint too heavy anyway. Yeah, this... I lost the eyebrow line. And see if I can add the highlight back in there. I think I am gonna just blow dry it because I lost some of my guidelines that I started with, but I actually like the tone it's starting to come up. Painting upside down. I don't know how y'all do that. Like, that is definitely a skill set that leaves me baffled. Okay, so let's see if we can add some of those other details back in there. The brown. Which I know that her nose mouth ratio is off. See if I can move it slightly down. Yeah, see, it's crapping out the other colors. Which I literally did the opposite of what he told us to do. But it's definitely coming together now, so yay. It's actually starting to grab the other color. That's the one thing I was waiting on, because it was really hard to try to get to do that before. But I also realized I like to paint on overly painted canvases, so it's like 12 paint layers thick before it really gets to where I can add my details and stuff usually. Now let's see if I can do this without reaching it. Which now her nose is... The one thing I don't understand either is like how with some of them, I haven't learned how to do, so the values that they do show on those is like for somebody that's white. So it's like they're doing with these browns and they go lighter and lighter and lighter, which is cool and all, but nobody starts it with brown. Like nobody starts it with like a dark brown to a lighter brown. So I'm wondering if maybe what I was watching, I should have started with straight up black maybe, or a purple or something. Not really sure, because it's like, how do you create the other tone in between if the base tone is already under? Okay, so let's blend that out. Y'all are actually quiet tonight. Okay, yay. That's actually gonna be perfect now that whenever it dries. So I actually like the way that is. So under here needs to get lighter, but it's too wet. And this is all too wet too. And this paintbrush I have right now is so big, so to actually add details, I'm gonna have to use a different one. But I do like the way that I got some of that in there. That's actually kind of cool. Oh my gosh. So I need to let that dry. No, I'm not gonna touch her face. I literally thought about it though. Like I really did think about touching hers, but I'm not gonna do that tonight, because that will have me up all night and I plan on sleeping tonight. So thanks for liking the live, PS. See if we can at least get this part started. Which I know that's kind of messy and outside the lines, but it's easier to just do this first and then come back, which I should have did that part first, because if I don't, yeah. And then add, so this is like pearlizing paint, so it's gonna change the overall effect of the paint too. So as it dries, it's gonna look different. So it's gonna give like a greasy T-zone effect. And then, of course, on the chin, because most people's chin is kind of shiny. And then just blend it out to there. And just use that to clean the brush. I gotta let that dry. So, I wonder if, yes, I am. Just in case you're wondering, like, Marquette, are you tempted to just go blow dry this whole thing and read? Yes. Yes, I am. I am this close, but I'm like, no. You say you would try this process. Stick with it. It's just trust the process. Trust the process was a painting. This would be it. This would be the poster child. So, as I let that dry, I am going to get a little bit of each color paint. Because I do need to go ahead and have these set out anyway. Because, what is that? It's a picture. So, I definitely realized I did get some of what he was saying done, but not to the level of what he did. No, I don't know the artist's name. It was something that popped up on Facebook, and I was like, ah, this is interesting. I think I'll try it. Oh, gosh, why is it so hard to open these? And now, ooh, that's a lot. Okay. We are about to start with the lighter tones. A little bit more of the lighter tones. So I'm gonna start with this one first. Which I think I just, oh, it's still wet. Okay, it's fine. So with the Mona Lisa, I kind of had the same issue. So I end up having to like repaint. And I was like, gosh, this is feeling like a lot. But then I learned, I was like, I like that when you build it up, it just really changes for the best. But then I was like, I wanted to try somebody else's technique. But then I have to think about it too. Like when you're in different headspaces and different moods, you could literally paint the same thing 12 times and it's going to look differently. Because your energy in the moment affects how you paint. It's not just paint the canvas. So swirlies are your friend at this point, because it creates different depths and textures. Skin is not flat, at least in my world. This is still that medium light tone that keeps grabbing some of that brown. And then I am going to go ahead and add a little bit of tan right there. So that's the highlight, and I'm going to bring it down into the nose. A little bit more of this color first. And go under the chin, or above it, down to the chin, I should say, not under. The only thing is I'm learning, it's like if I do try to do something with the face, I have to do it to like this part too. Even if I'm gonna put clothes or anything else, like I'm learning, like just whatever technique you do the one part, do the other part. Because then if you don't, later, when you finally get the top part right, it's not gonna be right. It's not gonna be the same. I know I said I was gonna go to bed early tonight, but okay, so now she's starting to have like a little bit more. Yeah, we haven't used this brown yet. This one is new to the party. Because I feel like, I don't know, it's like I can't figure out which. I had this really great idea in my head of what I was about to paint, who I was about to paint, and then it changed. And then it's like I thought she was gonna be one way, and the more I painted, the more she felt like she was supposed to have more of a darker tone. And so that's what made me pivot. And yeah, if you're wondering, like, well, why didn't you just go with what you started with? It's because my brain wouldn't let me. Apparently, she's supposed to be more of a deeper tone. So. And that's why, like, when I really listen to how that, like, it's supposed to feel, it changes the vibe. And no, I don't have the choice about it. And that sounds crazy to some of y'all, but it's almost like when you're just like a feeling you get. So it's like you're feeling the way something feels like you think it should be. But then if you try to fight what you feel, it becomes harder. But then if you lean into what you feel, it becomes easier. So then you just say, okay, I'm not gonna fight the feeling. So then you're just like, okay, what do you want? What feels right for you? And then it goes into this weird vibey thing. And then it starts to come together. And then you're just like, oh, Now, if it's like a cartoon character or something, yeah, that one's different sometimes. But with the freestyle work like this, I never know. I don't know until you know. And then even then, I'm just like, oh, didn't see that coming. So, yeah. See what I mean? How the skin tone's starting to look better. Yeah, I didn't expect that. Didn't expect that tone, I should say. And my goal tonight was supposed to be something easy peasy lemon squeezy, but then it turned to this. But I'm cool with that. But I do have to go to bed early tonight because I have to, well, early is before 11 p.m. because I have to get up super early. I actually like the way the values are starting to come together. It's interesting. No, I don't always go for perfection. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. And you can tell when I'm going for it though, because, ooh, it'd be so serious. I'd be having like 12 brushes, and I'd be switching between brushes like a million times. Tonight is more so just like, it's cool because like right here is like the light version, right there's the dark version. It's crazy. Just gotta make sure I don't overwork it while it's still wet. And I realized that a lot of her details would have to come in later. So even if I did try to sit all night and do this, I'll have to dry it. But this is a good baseline. Good starter. You see what I mean? Like how it's trying to, so what? Starting to come together. I thought I had this thing. But I feel like I don't know what I'm missing. Yeah, I started off trying to do the values thing, and then I realized that mess is hard. I do like the way that's starting to do, though. I'm just trying to figure out if it's worth the energy of attempting to fix some of the nuanced things that are going off right now. Because for tonight, I think my energy may be better spent not focusing on all those little bits quite yet. I don't know. Okay, let's at least give you some blush. I can do that much tonight. Because that's actually easier while it's still a little bit of wet. So I tell myself. We shall see. Oh, that overtook. But I do like the way that her peaches are coming together, though. That's actually kind of nice. Okay. So my problem is that I jump between too many tasks, too. So it's like when I paint every day, my painting gets better. When I do a language every day, my language gets better. Then whenever I stop doing one, it's like my brain is like, oh, we don't need this anymore. But then I feel like I still need it. You see what I mean? How it's starting to actually look more like a face. Okay. I really need to let that dry though, because it's at the point where it really needs more detail work, but I can't do the detail work right now. There's my handy dandy tile. I actually like the way her face is starting to look though. Like I actually see her. It's not just so I'm mixing like the two colors together to create the lightest color and the brownie color. starting to look more like a kid, actually. You're a little girl. Hello. It's a little girl. Okay, cool. I was like, how old are you? But I'm realizing this is a younger person. She is younger. I'm going to say under the age of 10. But for some reason, she has a somber feeling, and I don't know why. I don't know. Going live and doing these kind of paintings are kind of scary because I feel like one day somebody's going to be like, I know her, or something weird. I don't know. Hopefully, they say that it's a good reason, not a bad. But I'm going to go ahead and keep this up because I feel like I need to. Yeah, I get a lot of weird urges in life. And one of them for tonight was to paint her. And I don't know why. And I wanted to go to bed early, and I was like, no, I need to paint her for some reason. Do you see her face? Very interesting. Okay, so I don't know. Is the commenting off or something? Normally I would have had a comment, but no, that's weird. Or yeah, but just quiet. Yeah, I do feel like I should add more details to her face, but again, everything is so wet. I don't want to mess it up. She kind of look like an East. All right, little girl. Can I do? I don't know. I feel like that's risky though. Cause I feel like you need like a little bit more detail in there. Color might work. Okay. Now, I feel like, where's my other one? Oh, there you are. Gosh, they're so hard to open. I have an assistant that just opens paint. Okay. And you're like, what did you just do? I don't know why I'm using such a big brush either. Like, I have really fine detail brushes too, but I feel like this is part of the challenge of tonight. Don't worry, I have to take a shower tonight anyway. But, yeah. Actually, I think that's gonna have to be a stopping point. I really wanted to do it all in one night, one try, one go around, but really for this, I don't know. I feel like it's gonna end up changing, but I feel like maybe not. Definitely need to incorporate some other colors, but they are not within my reach right now. I mean, could I stand up and grab it? Probably, but yeah, I have to avoid the eyebrows because I will be sad if I don't. And the only thing about acrylic is the color changes as it dries. So right now, I'm just like, I need to let it dry fully because if not, the color's gonna just keep changing on me. So that's how that turned out with the whole values thing. I realized that, yeah, maybe I should have studied that a little harder. But I do like the concept. I actually like the way she turned out. She actually looks pretty good. I just need to do some, oh, I do need the black. I do need the black. Okay, I'm at the black. Maybe it'll dry a little bit, but I need the black. And I need that fine, I need the fine paintbrush because this one is not gonna ride. Yeah. I'm just gonna try it because why not, right? Go big or go home. Because usually, like, by the time you start adding those micro details. Oh, by the way. Okay, yeah. right. I need to find the black in that small paintbrush. So that's what we have going for now. I'm just gonna see if I can do that real quick because that's gonna bother me. Oh wait, I think it's right here. I have one over here. That's great. I don't know if y'all can still hear me or not. Sorry. I forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Thought I had it on there. Yeah, the paint dried like right when I needed it to be wet. That's so crazy. Actually, that worked out kind of good. I just need to find the black, but it's way up there. I don't really want to get up. Once I get up, I want to go to bed. So I am gonna do. I'm just gonna keep it all brown. If you're wondering, like, what am I doing when I'm reaching off the screen, I'm tapping the brush onto the canvas just to fix the bristles. Because the bristles are separating on there. See? Oh my gosh, it just did that to me. Oh, but that actually worked out okay. And I realized that right, so that's it for tonight. Honestly, I can't really make myself do more to this without actually grabbing more colors and more paint brushes. Yikes. Okay, no worries. But I might fix it. May not. I kind of like it because, yeah, it's a face. Definitely not mad at it. Would I say it's my best work? Not really. Would I say it's my worst? Not really. It's like, what do you like? Everybody likes something different, right? Alright. Sit you right here so you can dry. Alright, thanks for watching. I'm done for the night. I'm sleepy and had a very long day. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for commenting. Even though I don't know if anybody commented today or not. For some reason, I couldn't see it. But if you did and I didn't respond, thanks for anyway. And yeah, so that's kind of what we got going right now. A mini collection. I definitely feel like you can feel a lot of emotions off of this one. But interesting, to say the least. All right, good night.